Damn it, no one's here yet. Try it again. Janie, how are you? Hi, Jesse. Good. How are you? Hope everyone is doing well. Bigfoot reports and data. Puma Pete, how are you? Can the four of you hear me good? Yes, no, maybe, just a little. I've been really busy. I've been backlogged for 7 months because of my dad and being in the hospital. So I will catch up to emails. I'm just catching up on everything now. DC, what's up? DB Mac, how are you? Craigers, Gravity Cheeseburger. What's up, MX? Nicholas Carroll, how are you? Alan Howell, what's going on, my friend? How are you tonight? Glenn, what's going on? 4,000. Nicola, how are you? Hi, Jane. Delirium. Sounds good, Bigfoot. I actually talked about getting in touch with you last week. I've just been backlogged with everything. What's going on, Jacob Villard? How are you tonight? Amber, how are you? Snowman Dave, what's going on, my friend? Jojo, how are you, ma'am? How is the weather in Maine? William Ward, how are you? Bill Ward's got a new neighbor. Let's everybody keep a prayer out for Pups. She fell and broke some ribs, so she is out of commission. Sorry about that. Hillard, you're good, brother. You're good. I've got to get in touch with you this week as well. Bigfoot Reports and Jacob Hiller are the two top of my list this week. What's up, Rockin' Steady? How are you? How is everything working out? Keep Rockin' Steady in your prayers, please, everyone. I don't know if he wants me to get into detail, but keep him and his family in your prayers. What's up, Wolf-Based Data? How are you? So prayers for Pups and prayers for Steady Rockin'. Because if that trailer's rocking, don't come a knocking. Shari Strong, how are you? What's going on, Complete System Failure? Caden, how are you, buddy? Motorboat Champ, what's going on, my friend? Lake 17. Never mind. I confused you with one other person. I apologize, Rockin' Steady. The cop was out. Yes, the cop is parked right there. Follow my arm, and you can see him. Oh, shit. Kakalina, how are you? Magic DJC. Sharp. What's up, Sharp? Sonia, how are you tonight? Thompson. David Thompson. Thank you for becoming a member, my friend. Appreciate you. So quick info. I bought a kayak this week, and I am rigging it with a camera mount in the front, and I'm going to be able to take it and go to a couple places that I want to go to. There's a couple islands in Lake George that have kind of a weird atmosphere to them. What's up, Random Chicken? Dis, what's going on? No, the original sheriff, not who's in charge now. My brain just shut off, but no, he's not in CJ, not CJ, but the guy Armando Fuentes is not the sheriff anymore, so you're good. A conference, yeah, that's. I don't know. I stay away from conferences. I think they're just kind of very strange. But Nicola will go because Nicola likes stuff like that. He likes dabbling his little finger and stuff like that. Just kidding, Nicola. What's up, Windsor? How are you, Kathy Hayes? Rogue Volunteer. Kim Flores, how are you? William Menendez. Yes, Pups is on. Pups, you're supposed to be resting. I told everyone to send prayers to you. God damn it, you. No, I'm just kidding, Pups. So, anyway, there's a couple islands in Lake George that I had read about that have some people had seen a Bigfoot-like creature swim out to these islands. They're uninhabited, and camping is restricted on them for some reason. So I was like, you know what? I want a kayak. I'm just going to buy one. I need to lose some weight. So I'm going to be kayaking and making videos like a little fucking weirdo. Who'd I miss? Truth in Christ, how are you? Just don't laugh too hard, Pups. You'll piss yourself and break another rib. Just be careful. Yeah, that's what DB Mac. That's why I said I'm gonna attach a. I've got a camera mount that I'm putting on there, so I'll actually be able to kayak out, make a video, talking, and maybe even like just get stranded in the middle of the lake and do a video there, and then kayak and just look around. I think I might go up to where Tom Mezek disappeared tomorrow. I think I'm going to do that. I want to go back in the dark sometime this week, maybe. I'm not really sure when. But I got a bunch of little stuff that I got planned out for y'all. Y'all. Howdy, 59th. How are you? When are you going to become the 60th? Or the 58th? You got to take the 58th out so you can be the 58th. What's up, Samurai? I got your I did get your email. Yes. Hang on one second, Mr. Windsor. All right. Mods, you guys are lacking in your jobs. What's up, Steph? How are you? Just going to start taking mods away, I guess. So no one wants to help out. No worries, Richard. Did you get it? I hope you did. I I'm going to bring the KS7 with me as normal. Amaya. Hello, Amaya. How are you? Brandy Boone's daughter, Amaya. I hope I said your name right. Your mom should have named you Sarah, so I could have said your name properly if I mispronounced it. Leave it to Brandy Boone. Just kidding. I know you are, 59th. Excuse me. He is, honestly, he's slowly starting to get a little better. Weight-wise, there's no gaining. He's still very frail. Like I gave him a hug the other day and I could feel like the bones in his back, which really freaked me out. But cognitively, they have the infection pretty much calmed down, cured, or whatever. I really don't know the proper term, but cognitively he's there. He doesn't remember anything since before the surgery. He just remembers prior surgery. Nothing. Like when he was cognitive during Christmas time, he was cognitive for 2 days. Like Christmas and Christmas after, the day after Christmas, he was cognitive. But he doesn't remember that. So I'm hoping that things. Thank you, Pops. What's up, Alec Bike Ham? Why are you sad? Don't be sad. Not here. Two-way, what's going on? Lunatic. Actually, a subscriber had printed out, they made one of those, it's a cross. They 3D printed it, but it's that kind of like that, like weird, like kind of cross. It is a cross. It has a right name. What's up, Phil? How are you, buddy? Steve Outdoors. Holy shit, Phil. How are you, my friend? I have not heard from you in a long time, buddy. Wow. Send me an email. I'd like to talk with you a little bit, if you don't mind. Wow. I don't know if you guys remember Phil's upload that I did 2 great interviews with him, and I mashed them together for like a 2.5 hour fucking just great interview. Good stuff. All right. So I'm looking forward to summer because I really am excited about the kayak. It's coming Monday via freight. So it came from North Carolina. It's a Wilderness Systems Pungo 105. It's about 10.5 feet. But I'm just super stoked that I can just get out and do some more shit. And of course, bring my camera wherever I go because I just want to do better videos for y'all. What's up, Zach? How are you? I think what we'll do is we'll start the night off right with a couple of very creepy experiences. These are going to fall into the, holy shit, I didn't realize how long this was. These are going to fall into the category of cryptid, paranormal, and other such. Michael Torres, how are you? Adam, what's going on, brother? My dad, no, he's got a long way to go. Melissa, sorry, I just caught the bottom of it. He's got a long way to go. So, Firehorse, what's going on? And Suji, what's going on? So, but I mean, it's looking promising. The rehab that he's at, really quick, I'm kind of disappointed because it's got a 4-star rating or whatever. But you know those rollators where they have the seat and shit? Um, they let you use them while they're there. They gave my dad this piece of shit one, so I ended up going and buying him one. I was like, dude, you cannot give my dad that piece of shit. I'm like, what is wrong with you? So I got him this blue one with like 7.5-inch wheels. I told him, I said, look, under the seat, there's a little cooler area. So when you get better, you can go for walks by the lake and you can put a 6-pack there. I said, wouldn't that be nice? He kind of smiled. Not that I want him to drink beer, but I'm trying to get him to smile. What's up, Vince? All right, here we go. It was 2001. My best friend and I were 15 years old. We lived in a small town in rural Minnesota, about 2,000 people. Out of our friends group, she and I were the only two that lived out in the country. So we understood the boredom that could ensue. But the fun things would come out of it. Exploring the woods, running around in the cornfields, creating forts, exploring abandoned homes on the property, etc. It was really fun for us. One day, we decided to take our bikes and ride down some old gravel roads. Her little brother tagged along. He was maybe 9 or 10 at the time. We're riding along, laughing, probably picking on her brother, when we saw this old shack out in the cornfield. The corn wasn't fully grown, so we were able to see most of it. We decided to explore it because, well, why not? We peered inside, and the first thing I noticed were posters on the wall of a room. They were on every wall. There was a different person on every poster, and they looked angry. Some held guns pointed right at you. Some were pointing their fingers, and it felt like they were pointing right at us, with their eyes trained on us. In the center of the floor was a perfectly painted red circle. My friend and I remember a star in the middle, but her little brother just remembers the circle. As we are staring at this creepy scene, Suji, holy shit, thank you so much. As we are staring at this creepy scene, I feel like we are being watched, but not by the posters, of course. I look to my right across the gravel road, and in the cornfield across from us, standing in the middle of the field, is a man just watching us. He's not waving his arms, not yelling at us, just watching. I alert my friend and her brother, and we all look at him together. I awkwardly wave, and he continues to just stare and stand there. No wave back. We are sufficiently creeped, so we jump on our bikes to get away. We're on gravel, which is not easy to bike on, so it's taking us a little bit to get going. We bike away, and I repeatedly turn around to see if he is still there and still watching us. He barely moved and only turned his body slightly to an angle in our direction to keep watching us. I still can't get over how he just appeared in the middle of the field like that. Recently, I've been thinking about this, so my friend, her brother, and I started to go on this group chat. We all shared what we remembered, and they basically said everything I did above. What I didn't know was they went back the next day and everything was gone. Even the red paint on the floor. A week later, whoever owned it donated it to the fire department to be burned. I don't know what was going on in that shack. Whatever it wasn't good, and it still weirds me out to this day. Next encounter. I'm from Central Illinois. When I was 10, my friend's mom was driving us back from Chicago, a little over 2-hour drive. Most of that drive is through cornfields. It was really late, and everyone was asleep in the van except for my friend's mom and myself. I was sitting on the right side in back when we passed what looked like 2 teenagers coming out of a cornfield on the right side of the road. Now, normally that isn't weird. Plenty of kids end up wandering through cornfields at some point in Illinois. What was weird is how they looked. I'll never forget the boy. He was maybe 16 years old, wearing a white linen shirt and brown slacks with suspenders. His hair was short but curly and brown. He was handsome and pale with dark circles under his eyes. He looked like he had blood on him, and the girl he was with looked very bad. She was wearing a blood-covered dress, and she was also pale with dark rings under her eyes. Now, where we were was really strange. That cornfield is huge, and there weren't any entrances off of I-55 that we could see. My friend's mom immediately freaks out, thinking they drove their car into the cornfield and must have been super hurt. We're driving pretty fast, and she had a van full of kids, so instead of pulling over, she grabbed her phone and dialed 911. I remember that she reported the mile marker and told the police like they looked like they needed help. And that was it. I never figured out what happened. I honestly think they were ghosts for some reason. Their movements were so strange, and their placement was just odd. There was no way teenagers would be hanging out on the side of I-55 dressed like that in the middle of night. Whose birthday is it? What's up, California? Whose birthday? Whose birthday? Shit, I missed it. What's up, Troy? Saw Bigfoot while you were hiking. ABH. Someone tell me whose birthday it is. Jared, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jared. Happy birthday to you. That's who I wanted to. I met when I said everybody say prayers for Rock and Steady. It was not Rock and Steady. I meant to say John Sumner. Everyone say prayers for John Sumner. Right after last week's live stream, his home was hit by a tornado. 1 hour after the live stream last week, Sumner's home was smashed by this tornado. So please keep him in your prayers. James Moses, thank you for being here, my friend. Like literally 1 hour after this live stream ended, he was, and Sumner, he's always in a good mood. Shari, it's good to see you as well. No, you did not. It's not out yet. Still waiting. Speaking of books, oh shit, it's downstairs. My friend Jimmy Petanito, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jimmy Petanito, Mr. Haunted, put out his book. It's on Amazon. It's called Mr. Haunted Origins, and it's by Jimmy Petanito. If you don't know who he is, he was the cameraman for Ed and Lorraine Warren. He also knew Father Malachi Martin firsthand. So if you guys want an amazing book to check out, read, go over to Amazon. That's the only place you can get it. Mr. Haunted Origins by Jimmy Petanito. Sorry. I love you, Jared. Happy birthday. Big hug. Little finger in the butt. Just kidding. Ha ha. Thank you, pups. What's up, Tommy? How are ya? How are ya? I'm glad someone caught that. 59th caught it. Yeah, Brad's super nice guy, man. I'm really glad that I was able to talk to Brad. Just a really, really great person. Rob Salazar, how are you? Yeah, it's an amazing book. So Jimmy Petanito, he was young when he met Father Malachi Martin. If you don't know who that is, Hostage of the Devil is about him. He was killed essentially after doing an exorcism that didn't take. And Jim was the camera guy for the Warrens. Like in the Conjuring movies, that Chinese guy that you see, that's Jim. And he's fucking awesome. He's just such a nice guy. He's actually from Janie's home state of Connecticut, to be honest with you. Jeff, do you think you're part of the small percent? I don't know, Puma Pete. Maybe. Paula, how are you? Paula Mullen. I don't know, to be honest with you. I've only had one Dogman experience that I can say. I know I've had a lot of weird shit happen up where Tom Mezek disappeared, but I think that's just because of where it is. I don't really know, but it makes a lot of sense that the pheromones, the release of the certain pheromones and stuff would cause dogmen to be attracted to you. Brad's not the first person that ever said that, though. Fuck, my brain just shut off. Oh my God. I had another subscriber on a long time ago. He's very old. He's very sick right now. He was a former sheriff, Ronald Coleman Jr. Did I see Steph in here? Steph, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi. $20 is $20. I was gonna put my pink tank top on tonight. The $20 is $20, but nah. Yeah, the cop car is there. He's parked just. He's a long cunt hair away. I can't believe I said that. Whoops. Sorry. He's far, like, I cannot believe I fucking said that. He's like, I don't know, 100 yards away. No, not 100 yards. 1, 2, 3. I could probably throw a baseball and break the back window. If I offended anybody, I can't believe I did. Oh my God. What did he say? Nothing. Try. You stop it, Shari. I will, Jared. Any encounters from the Cuse? I had a couple out of Cuse in Utica area. Tigger is sleeping on the couch right now. He's probably upside down, smelling his own ass somewhere. We'll do the shofar in a minute. We'll get some more encounters in this. I got a good one for y'all. I'm a member of the United States Army, and I have a personal experience to share that comes from my deployment in Afghanistan. Due to the nature of my service, I cannot and will not share anything that will breach any level of OSPEC or InfoSec in any way, shape, form, or reveal any details. God damn it. Okay, let's start over. I'm a member of the United States Army, and I have a personal experience to share that comes from my deployment to Afghanistan. Due to the nature of my service, I cannot and will not share anything that will breach any level of OPSEC and InfoSec in any way, OPSEC, shape, form, or reveal any details that will or can be construed as such to compromise any operations myself or other members of the United States military conduct on a daily basis. That being said, here's my experience. I'm a United States Army Infantry Squad Leader, a non-commissioned officer with 10 years of service, and I have 12 soldiers under my command in my squad, 10 soldiers and 2 non-commissioned officer team leaders. My soldiers are ranked E3 to E4, with 18 months of experience at the very least, with my team leaders having 4 to 5 experience respectively. We all have at least one combat deployment together, with the senior of my soldiers having 2. All of us have had enough experience in our service that we are absolutely confident in our abilities and skills as infantry soldiers and know what to do and how to do it in any given and all combat situations we encounter. So when we are given a mission as a squad separate from our platoon, We did not really give any thought to the nature of the orders or fact we would be a significant distance from our platoon or any ground assistance whatsoever, separate from CAS or artillery we could call on and other assets available. I received the mission. I received the mission, issued the warno, made a plan, initiated movement, gathered recon, and completed the plan. I issued the op ord, and we Oscar Mike. All the making appearance and of a usual routine mission. Something we did daily and completed daily. And then we reached the objective. And it all went to what I can only describe as a hellish given form. We had vehicles that were specifically designed for being explosive resistant and armored enough to give us an edge in surviving a multitude of situations that we would come across. In the dark, we had NVGs on, approaching a small village, 7 buildings, under cover of darkness. Being as quiet as possible, ready for anything, we entered and cleared a house after house and found bodies, lots of bodies. So many it was hard to enter any dwelling without stepping on any of them. And I have never in my 10 years seen anything as disturbing or as shocking as the condition of these bodies. The sheer number was numbing to behold. Some looked like they had been ripped or torn in half. That is no mistake of typing or description. I literally mean torn or ripped by sheer brute strength. Some looked crushed as if a ton or more weight was slammed onto them. And I mean pulped. I have run other human beings over with a 6-ton vehicle, and I know I crushed when I see it. And others looked as I would expect it. I were to eat a piece of raw meat with my teeth. If I had teeth like a shark or some sort of carnivore, like something had taken large chunks off of them and kept going. And the rest looked like what you'd imagine, some sort of mythical monster or something with claws and teeth. Sharp, anything would have gone through them. We finally reached the end of the village and met something I can only describe as closest to a demonic as human language can make it. And it was terrifying. Thinking about it as I type this gives me chills, making my heart feel like it's going to burst from my chest. And that at any moment, that thing will burst from somewhere and do unspeakable things to me before it kills me, ripping me apart like a rag doll. I still have nightmares about it. First vehicle opened up on it with the 50 cal APT, and he was going cyclic. Next thing I know, I see a 6-ton armored vehicle that can take up to 80 pounds of explosive force and come back rolling, literally fly, not roll, not flip, fly. It landed in the middle of the frickin' village in pieces. 6 damn tons of armor flew 700 meters. My vehicle was next, and I have never cycled an automatic grenade launcher so fast in my whole career. I was linking belt after belt after belt, and I was unjamming almost as fast as it jammed. I'm screaming my head off on the radio at the same time, trying to get a hold of my other vehicle, call in CAS or artillery, and ordered my squad to shoot this thing with every weapon we had, even though I knew for a fact that we were all doing what we could anyway. And I am still screaming. I can hear screaming and gunfire that sounds like millions of voices screaming with us. Explosions, tearing metal, absolute chaos is in control here. I'm screaming, crying, and praying, but then the craziest thing I had ever seen happened. Everything went absolute silent. No sound, no voices, no gunfire, no explosions, nothing. The world went mute. And after that, everything slowly came back. My alpha team leader, who climbed up to me, had to slap me hard and snap me out of whatever hell zone I was in. My best guess is shock, but unlike anything I had ever heard, experienced, or watched, it took hours for me to get it together and start attempting to control the situation, get communications with LT, and come to grips. First priority was the first vehicle. We could not raise them on the comms, so I sent 2 guys to go back and see if they were alive and needed medical attention. Then I realized we didn't get a BDA on the thing we just unloaded on. I directed the driver to get closer to the area, and I noticed something right off the bat. There was damage everywhere except for one spot, and that spot was untouched, pristine, like it had never been subject to all the firepower we directed at it. Not a single impact. There was no sign of that thing anywhere, not even a footprint. I had deployed 7 times in 10 years and never have seen anyone or anything walk away from that much firepower ever. I know for a fact that no human on this earth could. 5 soldiers in the first vehicle lived miraculously due to the cab being reinforced but suffered severe blunt force trauma from impact. Although that all 5 in the vehicle were immediately given medical discharge and 100% disability a few months later. My other soldiers are all receiving the best psychological care possible. I am undergoing psychological evaluation as well due to the report I gave my command. The treatment given to me and my squad is no surprise. However, the way my report of the incident was handled and what happened after is very confusing and frustrating. No more about this has been mentioned or acknowledged again. I don't care if someone believes me anymore, as every time I am asked about it and answered, I am met with reactions of disbelief or pity or sympathy for my damaged mental state. I'm even attempted to be cleared to continue my service and am forced to lie to my counselors and therapists about my progress in recovering from the experience. I'm still haunted by this incident, and it still gives me a racing heart just thinking about it. I am hoping that someone may share this, that someone may hear this, and I ask to be remained anonymous. If you could just refer to me as Sarge. Even if you don't, thank you anyway for taking your time to read this. Damn it. So, after reading that, I immediately think demon. You know, I've never been to the Middle East. I don't ever want to go to the Middle East. But just from the history, you know, supposedly, mathematically and through different translations, the Bible tells us where the evil resides in earth. You know, I guess the Bible states there's a certain place on earth, and I guess it's modern day Turkey, but far away from Afghanistan. But I wouldn't doubt there are demons living there somewhere. I mean, it makes sense to me. Thank you, Candy Phillips. How are you? What's up, Adam Williams? Truth Quest, how are you? Yeah, desolate places. But to me, like the desert, when I picture, like, I don't know if it's like from The Exorcist when they do that like archaeological dig, and they dig out the demon there. My brain just shut off again. But just the desert itself, the Middle Eastern desert, just reminds me of evil for some reason, even though it's the birthplace of the Lord, you know, Jesus. But to me, it's just an evil place. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Robert. What's up, Gen X? Clint, how are you? Kyle, how are you? Lisa Marie, how are you? Backyard Chicken, how are you? No, the evil lives in New York. Web Surfer, can neckbeards become possessed? Absolutely. Flint Dribble is fucking possessed. You ever seen that, man? Ha ha. Good old Flint. What's up, Mindy? How are you? I can imagine, Adam. There's not a lot of people that know this, but I have a son, with a different person than my two daughters. He's older, and he was in the Middle East. He was in Afghanistan. He was an Army Ranger. Looks identical to me, the poor kid. But 5 years ago, he was listening to my channel while over there. But he said it was really weird over there. Just really a strange atmosphere. What did I miss? Tommy, important. My friend of mine that loved your channel, but don't think was a sub. His name was Blake Mitchell. Prayers for Blake Mitchell. Sorry for your loss, Tommy. Oh, Jesus. Ejected from a car. Oh, God. Enormous. Lizard story. What's up, David Y? How are you? Hang on a second. Had to do the old ball jingle. What's up, Levi? Rockin' steady. Thank you, brother, for passing that out. Son of a lot lizard. Where the fuck is Wilburn anyway? Is it time? Is it time? IE native, what's going on? Bobby, how are you? $20. It's $20. The color and the way they are shaped. How come the only thing we always remember are the eyes, the color, and they're always shaped? I remember what my encounter looked like fully, like 100%. Not the eyes. I remember the eyes, but the cop car is there. He's there. There's no cop in the car though. That's the strangest part about it. They park the car right in front of my house, like boom, right there, and walk out. I don't know if they walk home. I don't know if they get picked up by a lot lizard, get stroked off somewhere. They probably think I have Tourette's. I don't think they like me too well. My name, they like stare at me. They fucking stare at me. What's up, Dodgers? Are we still ahead? I know we were beating freaking Colorado hardcore last time I checked. Yeah, they stare at me. Like I'll go outside and I bring my bonsai tree in at night. It's about like the pot is like that big, and it's about, I don't know, yay tall, a little taller than that. So it's about 2.5 feet tall. But I bring it outside and I put it outside, and then I water it first thing in the morning. Go inside, and then at like 6 o'clock at night, I'll go and water it again. Let it stay out for another hour and a half. Right before dark, I bring it in, and I leave it. I don't leave it outside because I don't want anyone to fucking steal it on me. Because people are pieces of shit. Yeah, I keep an eye. It's every Saturday the cop car's there. Well, thank you, Pine Knot. Appreciate that. I know. Where is Nino, that sexy motherfucker? Moondog Rex, how are you? Here, we'll finish up those corn cob stories. I was leaving my house with a friend. It was roughly 2 years ago during the beginning of winter. As we are pulling out, we came to see a figure in the cornfield next to my home. As we got closer, we came to realize that it did look human, but it wasn't. It was almost a petrified pale color to it, and it was small. It was on all fours like Gollum. It had pale eyes that looked hollow with dark spots around them. We were both in my car, and we didn't say anything as we saw it in the headlights, but as we passed it, we both asked each other if we saw that. I had completely forgotten about this until recently when my friend brought it up. I then asked my sister about it a few days later, and she said I might have seen something called the crawler, so I looked it up. The thing looked just like how some of the pictures describe it. I don't think I'll ever look at the paranormal again the way I used to. This is something that happened to my brother when he was in high school, but it's a pretty cool experience. I live in a really small town about 80 miles southwest of Chicago. It's mostly farms around here and mostly cornfields. So he was out one night, doing what teenagers do around here. We have nothing better to do than drive on the back roads and stuff. They're out super late, like 2 or 3 in the morning, driving around in cornfields. And they had to stop, in nicer words, to relieve themselves. So he gets out with his friends. There's 2 guys in the car, and his friends get out and stand in the corn. They hear this noise way out in the cornfield. He explained it like it was like this wailing sound, but it wasn't like a machine. It wasn't human. It sounded like an animal. It was just a weird wail or something. So he looked at his friend, and his friend said, "Did you hear that?" Yeah. He told his friends that were in the car to shut up and listen. So everybody got really silent. Then they heard corn rustling, and it was like this thing was coming closer to them. They could almost see the corn moving. The corn was kind of high enough to see it. Skip ads, bop. The corn was, damn it. The corn was high enough, but they could see it moving, and it was getting closer and closer. So they started to get really freaked out, and it started to get really quiet. Then out of nowhere, they hear this girl's voice. "Where are you, Mommy?" He said that his heart almost burst, and they screamed like little girls and jumped into their car. And his friend screamed, "Drive, drive." They just took off. They were saying to each other, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh my God, who was that?" They couldn't figure it out. What was that wailing sound? Why would a little girl be in the corn at 2 or 3 in the morning? We still can't figure it out. We live in such a small community that if there was a little girl missing, people would know about it. All the farms around here know everybody. We know that if someone was missing, we would have heard about it. So whatever that was, we know it wasn't a little girl. Fuck that. That's just scary. That's just really, really scary. Like, you hear this wailing, you're taking a pee, you're talking, "Shut up, guys," and there's a little voice, "Mommy, where are you?" Oh, no, thank you. It's like this little black-eyed bitch. No, definitely not a dog woman. Definitely not even a dog man, dog person. Just something black-eyed kids in the corn. This fucking Malachi from Children of the Corn. He's squeezing his nuts. "Mommy, where are you?" Randall Kennedy, thank you, my friend. Appreciate the love. Let's celebrate their 5th. Nice. God damn it. Can't dislodge us. It's just water. Ah. Well, thank you, Paula. I don't know why I got this, like, I didn't have it all day. My throat was fine. Like 10 minutes before the live stream starts, the fucking mucus just built up. It's like, we're going to just fuck you up right now, fella. Five rings. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the love. Anybody watch UFC tonight? Anybody? Islam Makhachev, did he beat up Dustin Poirier? How about Sean Strickland? Hopefully Sean Strickland got his ass kicked. I hate that guy. Let's find out. Paula Acosta, better of one. Hang on. UFC results. No way. God damn fucking Sean Strickland. I hate that fucking guy. Oh, I hate him. Kevin Holland won, though. It's just a decision in round 5. That's because he is not that good of a fighter. Paulo Acosta should have had that. Kevin Holland, though, took it. All right, good for you, buddy. We're still waiting for Islam Dustin Poirier. Come on, Islam. Do you see my face? It just got mad. I got like red. Constantine 2 is coming out. Wow, that's cool. At our old lake lot in Kansas one night, we'd hear little kids laughing and giggling. Fuck that. I don't like little kids, even though I have 2 of them. Dude, Paulo Acosta's leg kicks are fucking mean. I bet you Sean Strickland's going to be limping like a mother tomorrow. It's going to look like he got fucking elbow deeped all day. He's going to be walking like this tomorrow. That's why, Jeff. Rockin' steady. Why are you keep putting my fucking email in, brother? Quite possibly. I'm working, Jeff. Quite possibly. Truth in Christ. Larry Lindman, holy shit. Just shit out like 7. Oh my God. Oh my God. One of the patients just shit out like 700 milliliters of blood. Dude, was Paulo Acosta behind him? Oh my God, that is terrible. Thank you, Larry Lindman. I appreciate that. You know I do, brother. It seems like this hospital may be a little more fun. They're going to die just waiting for the code. Are they young? I hope they're not young. I hope they're not old, but I mean, if they're going to die, I hope they're not young. Mama needs to see Jesus. She's like 1,000 years old. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. That's Alan Howell. Thanks for the love, brother. Yeah. At least it's not a child, you know? I mean, if she's old, she's lived her life. I just wish she'd go fast and not shit out blood. That must hurt, pooping out blood. Why is my brain thinking about it? What the fuck is wrong with me? How about a crawler story? It doesn't. It sucks, Jeff. Oh, my goodness. Truth, how are you? Steph, have a good night. I got your email. I wrote your number down. I actually have your number in my phone book. This is my channel's phone book for everybody that I've ever talked to. The GI doc walked in and was like, I am not touching that mummy. Holy shit. Rockin' steady. Thank you. Likes watching hours for. Oh yeah, because he's it reminds him of the bars and all the bar whores. Good night, Steph. Thank you, my friend. Stay well. I'm glad Steph's doing better. Steph's a wicked nice guy. David Y, thank you, my friend. Damn it. You guys are awesome tonight. Awesome tonight. Walmart Karen versus Crawler and Black Eyed Kid. Well, is the Crawler and the Black Eyed Kid on the same team? Or is Walmart Karen, is all three of them? Yeah, he does, Puma Pete. What can my channel do for you? Night, pups. Stay well. Walmart Karen would definitely win. I'm thinking, especially if she's got like spandex pants on and she weighs like a good 300-400 pounds with a new kids on the block t-shirt that's like 40 years old with a fucking shit stain where her belly button is. She would definitely win. Firehorse, the buffering's on your end. If there was any issue with my end, it would show. It's on your end, not mine. Yeah, light span, like with like a light pink spandex with like a piss yellow around the leg. That'd be neat. Yes, sir. Jeff Porter, how are you? All right. I'm sharing this experience from long before crawlers were a thing people talked about, and before the internet exploded and that annoying modem sound came on if you were lucky enough to have a computer and the internet at all that time. It was around 1999. I was living in a very rural upstate New York. If you don't know or have never been to the Catskills, James Moses, thank you, brother. Up to the Catskills. It's a very small town surrounded by forest and farmland. Not much to do back then, but to hang out with your friends and drive around. At least that's what I did with my friends, besides the weekly house parties. My best friend and I were into the paranormal back then, and we both experienced a few unexplained things. And being in our late teens, young adults, we were curious about touching each other's booter. Just kidding. But we both identified as Wiccan at the time and spent a lot of time in the woods touching each other's booter. We would meditate and do earthly spells, have lunch, and camp out. So needless to say, we were not afraid of the woods, dark, or being completely isolated in the middle of nowhere. One night on one of our late winter drives to nowhere, because like I said, nothing else to do, we ended up on this road where we hadn't been before. We pulled off to the side of where this old schoolhouse was. We parked the car, got out, and looked in the windows to check it out and see what was inside. It appeared to be kept up as a historical site, as there were old desks inside and an old chalkboard. It was really neat, but we did have a creepy feeling that you get at places where it seems the veil is thin. So, of course, we returned there several times after. We were almost drawn to this place. A few times we went during the day with some other girls and checked things out. As we took a walk in the woods behind the schoolhouse, we felt a really odd feeling. The one way I can explain it is that I've heard as walking through a fairy circle, a ambient lighting around us. It was very different. I can't really describe it other than almost a vivid color experience around us. We didn't think we were there all the long, maybe an hour or so. But when we returned to the car, it had been several hours, maybe 5 or 6, and we got there at noon. One time, my best friend and I went at night again. We were sitting in the car just talking, drinking our gas station cappuccinos, and we kept hearing this tap, tap, tap sound. Out loud, I said, "Knock it off," to nothing that was there. Right as I said this, we heard what can only be described as children's feet running away from behind to the side of the car. It freaked us both out, and we got the hell out of there. There is no way anyone was there. Like I said, this was a rural main road to a dirt road pull-off, completely pitch black, no streetlights, no cars going by in the distance or anything. If someone did show up there, they would have been seen. And it certainly wouldn't be what sounded like a child running around a car. Kind of sad when I think about it now. I certainly hope it wasn't a roaming spirit of a child gone too soon from this place. Anyway, this is where the freakiest part happens. And we never did return to this old schoolhouse after this. As we are getting back onto the main road, there were headlights. We could see something scurrying across the road. It looked like a hairless, naked human crawling low to the ground. Its elbows bent high so that its belly was close to the road, and its knees looked as if they were bent backwards. I remember both of us turning to each other with a panicked look on our face, saying, "What? WTF, did you see that?" We drove home, kind of trembling and not saying much. I remember I kept looking out the rearview mirror, half expecting this thing to chase us down the road. Luckily, it didn't. Me and my friend are still besties to this day, and we sometimes talk about the series of events. Years later, we saw the movie The Descent, and it immediately made us both think of the old schoolhouse and the thing we saw run across that road. It was a freaky place, freaky experience, and freaky time. Also exciting and slightly terrifying. I now live across country, far away from New York, but I often wonder about that old schoolhouse in those woods. Someday, I think I will return, now that I'm older in a different place in my life. I would like to see if it is still there, and just see how I feel about it now. But I will never, ever forget about that night, what I saw so many years ago. God damn. What's up, Jeb Smith? Jeb Smith from Alaska. Enki, what's going on, Enki? How are you? Diana Hill, how are you tonight? Where can I find your email? You are going to find my email right in the chat. Bam, 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 bam. Let me see if I can beat Rock and Steady. How the fuck did you beat me, Rock and Steady? Donna Harmon, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. AV Stalker here in beautiful Wisconsin. How are you, AV? I hope I said your name properly. I'm doing well, known back home. How about yourself? Wake up, Tigger. Here, I know he spanked my ass, dude. I told you I'm working. Oh, rockin' steady. Hang on, let me go check where he is. Buddy! Come here, buddy. Buddy! Come on, buddy! 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 Hi, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oh, there he is. There's Buddy. There's Buddy. Oh. There he is. He's mad because I fucking woke him up. Oh. You're a good boy, huh? Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Huh? Say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Say I'm a fucking asshole. Yeah. Oh, good boy. Good boy. I don't have any treats. I'm sorry. All right, hang on, guys. I got to get him some treats or he's going to just stare at me. All right, go. I got to get on the freaking thing. Come here. All right, sorry, guys. These are Tigger's favorite treats. They are lobster and macaroni and cheese. I know. I didn't shake a treat bag. I shook this. It's a touchscreen window cleaner bag. He is so pissed at me right now. Here, buddy. Here, boy. Here you go. He is so mad when he's like, "Where's my treats, dude?" You guys, I love this knife. I just got to show it again. I was playing with it earlier. The Hubertus. If you ever want an automatic knife that has some class to it, that is just quality. There's Microtech. There's freaking Boker. But the Hubertus is just a great knife. Look at that thing. It's like such a classy knife. Tigger, last time we weighed him, he weighed 41 pounds. DB Mac, I hope you come back soon. Yeah, I got a Benchmade as well. The Benchmade that I have is, they call it an automatic, but it's not. I don't know why. I love classy stuff. Ask anyone. It's such a funny fucking comment. I love classy stuff. Ask anyone. Yeah, I mean, it's just, so the knife is cool. There's no push button. The coolest part about the knife is, so you push this down right here, and then bam. And then to close it, you just push the thing again. Just a very interesting knife. I really, probably out of all my knives, that's my favorite knife. All right, Sherry. Gen X, have a good night, my friend. Cold Steels are great knives. There's another really good company that makes a really good, solid fixed blade knife called iPack, like iPack, P-A-K, iPack knives. They're just an amazing quality, very good knife, very just full tang, great structure, perfect thickness. That's what she said. How about a Mothman encounter, kids? How about a Mothman encounter? Or how about one of these? $20 is $20. Ah. All right. Once, when my family and I were living with my aunt and her family in McKinn County, Tennessee, my brother and older cousin swear they saw the Mothman. My aunt, uncle, and mom were going to the store at around 8 p.m. one night, and I, not wanting to be stuck in the house with my brother and male cousin and their two friends, went with the adults. We had been gone for at least 2 hours when we pulled into the driveway. All four boys sprinted out of the house terrified. Two of them had shotguns, and immediately our parents demanded to know what was going on. This group of boys from the ages of 10 to 14 were in tears, all of them trying to explain at once. Eventually, we got them to calm down enough to understand what they were saying. For reference, my aunt and uncle's home is in a very rural part of the Appalachian Mountains. They have a bit of woods and a creek that you can see from the back porch. There's a fire pit halfway between the porch and the creek. Anyway, the boys said they opened the sliding back door and sat with their feet hanging out because of the breeze. Then my brother noticed two red eyes glowing in the dark. All being hunters, they were not frightened at first, thinking that it may be an animal. But when they looked harder, they knew it was not. It was the shape of a large man. It had casually leaned against the tree, and it was standing next to and waved. The boys started freaking out right before two of them went to get their guns. It jumped, revealing large wings that spanned the width of its arms and flew mere feet above the ground. To stand by the fire pit, my brother said he didn't move. He and the creature just locked eyes, paralyzed. By the time our cousin and their friend came back with dual shotguns, it was gone. My brother said it was there, and in a blink of an eye, it wasn't. They took this as a good sign and closed the back door and huddled in the living room until we got home. Now, mind you, these boys did not scare easily. They've been hunting for a long time as now. They've killed deer, bear, and wild boar, pretty much any animal that you could kill. These boys were mortified. I am not sure if any of them slept that night. They were not all right for weeks after. It's been almost 10 years since this happened, and to this day, both my brother and our cousin will not joke about it. They get nervous anytime it's brought up and demand that we please do not talk about it. I got a oversized big toenail that makes mincemeat out of my socks. Oh my goodness. Bowie knife, Montana, God's country. Montana. Yeah, I want to go to Montana. Yeah, they are the tough ones. I agree 100%. George, I feel lucky to have Tigger. Thank you, Rock and Steady. You're the man. You know I respect you. No, he didn't, Puma Pete. He didn't. Holy shit, Liz, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Isn't that weird? Like, I reached out to you a week ago, and I was like, hey, are you mad or okay or sick? And you were like, something's wrong. I can't comment. It was weird because for some reason it said like you were restricted on commenting. And I'm like, I didn't do that. I'm so glad that you're able to comment again. I have a SOCOM. I have a 458 SOCOM. Mine was gifted to me by Tony Ramore. Yeah. It's weird what YouTube's doing. I didn't put her in a timeout. I would never put Liz in a timeout. Liz is one of those people that I will always like. Janie and Liz are my two girls. They've been with me for like the probably. God, Jane's been with me since the channel started at least, and so hasn't Liz, I'd say. Yeah. maybe a year after. Caden's been with me forever too. Speaking of which, though. Caden is the man, the myth, the motherfucking legend. The saga just continues with Caden. Oh, what about me? DC, you're there too. Everyone's there. Liz has a special heart with me for me. So doesn't Jane. Gravity fucking Cheeseburger does too. Dogman can swim. I'll share this experience really quick. So there was I forget the state, but this woman, she's a subscriber, she reached out to me, and they live like right on this, like right on the river. Yeah. And the father of her husband was very old, but he liked to go fishing. And one day he went out fishing by himself, and he ended up having a heart attack in the boat. But the son went to get the boat in the body, and there was a dog man in the water, underneath the water. It was underneath the water, and it was almost like holding the boat in place for a moment. And then they got the boat, brought it to shore. When they got the dad out of the boat, he was dead, of course. Wasn't killed by the dog man, but there were like 4 or 5 dog men standing on the other embankment or other side of the bank. And she wonders if the old man had gone out there fishing and seen these creatures and had a heart attack because of them. And they may have felt bad, realized that the son was coming out to get the body, and that one stayed for a moment to hold the boat in place. Just a weird kind of experience. But I know that Bigfoot can swim. WTF, booted? What's booted mean? No one back home. Yeah, this channel is good. There's a lot of great people here, to be honest with you. Really good people. I couldn't post. You can post. I see you, Daryl. Truth Quest got booted for some reason. They had to start a whole new thing. Yeah, dogmen are excellent swimmers. I mean, dogs are good swimmers. Humans are good swimmers. I really don't think the genetics of a dogman, I don't think the genetics of a dogman is a dog and a human being. I think it's completely something different. My own opinion. And that's, if your opinion's different, that's awesome, because that's what makes this cryptozoology good. But they just seem to be like a good swimmer. I'd almost imagine a crawler to be a good swimmer. They'd swim like a fucking pike, though. Edmund Davidson. That's an interesting knife name. I'll have to look at those. Shut up, Darrell Williams. Stop looking. Fucking pervert. Lot lizards, Sherry Strong, lot lizards can swim. They can swim in a puddle of Lot lizards do swim in puddles of they could see the head of the dog man. They could see a canine head under the water. Speaking of dogman encounters, I know this may sound crazy. It was around 2015 or 16. I remember it being in the summertime. The trees and brush were still full and lush. My wife and I live on 12 acres of land in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. The land was mostly wooded, with maybe 3 acres around my home cleared out with the exception of some random spaced trees. 2 acres in the front yard and about an acre in the back. The house was built in 1969, and the state of the home was original to the year, right down to the shag carpet. We originally moved in 2014, and over the years of living there, we gradually worked on remodeling when we had extra time and money. The land had 2 small barns on the property that we turned into chicken coops. We also decided to add 1 sheep. The home itself always had this unsettling feeling. The basement had a dark, evil feeling with a freezer full of animal carcasses and a gallon bucket of frozen blood that was there when we moved in. That's another story for another time. So over the span of living there, we had problems keeping our chickens alive. We couldn't find how something could be getting in. One day we got home from the grocery store in the early afternoon to find all the chickens dead and spread across the backyard. This didn't make any sense. We had the heavy-duty hardware cloth wire caging, and it was torn like something just clawed through it. We were concerned and were not sure what to do. After all, we had the sheep to worry about. I began setting out at night in different times of the day when I had time to do so. I thought maybe I could hunt whatever was killing our animals, but nothing ever showed up. We kept a close eye on our sheep, and best we could make sure he was in a well-protected area. That was until one random morning we went out to feed him and found him out of his stable and lying in the backyard not moving. We still didn't know how it got out. He had no marks or explanation for what happened to him. The only thing that comes to mind is a fear-induced heart attack. Like I said, it was summertime. I had the windows open because of our AC was not working very well on the second floor and was trying to get a breeze in the house. My wife was at work. Meanwhile, I'm working on putting our laundry away in the upstairs bedroom. I begin hearing this deep growling sound and a slightly higher pitched growl sound with it. I couldn't tell what it was, so I stuck my head out of the window to listen better. I could hear, coming from the woods on the right side, a growl, slowly getting louder, slowly getting closer. As the sound drew, my heart started to beat. I felt dread and fear. I was scared, but I wasn't sure why. That was until whatever it was came into the clearing, and there it was. A giant werewolf-looking creature was walking across my front yard. It was on all fours. It had a giant canine head, a large humped back, a long bushy tail, and its fur was thick on its chest and back and thinned out towards the legs. Its joints seemed to be bent like a human's. As it walked, its back legs bent like our knees do, and the front legs bent like our elbows would. As it was walking into the front yard, I was able to measure it up with the walking past the trees. It was at least 5 feet high, standing on all fours at its shoulders. So I imagine it being 8 or 9 feet on its hind legs. The slightly higher pitch sound was coming from behind it. Following behind it was an identical pup. I was in shock. I couldn't move, frozen in what I was witnessing. I didn't even think about trying to photograph it. I guess at that moment, I didn't want to miss anything. It carried on across the front yard, going deeper into the woods. I told my wife about it, and we never saw it again after that day. Also, we never went outside without protection after that. We ended up moving out of that place in 2018. Vincent Shriver, have a great night. Thank you for joining us. That goddamn dog, man. What's up, Greg? How are you, buddy? I know what you're talking about, DB Mac, the Anunnaki war dog. I know what you're talking about. I'd like to see the Freedom of Information Act papers that go with it, though. The shag carpet reminds me of a redhead. Jesus Christ. It does? Okay. I just heard about the video. I haven't seen it. I know what you're talking about, though. I didn't know if the FOIA information was in there. God damn it. If I climb up a tree, am I safe? No. Web surfer guy, no. I would say, Greg Wisely, how are you, buddy? I would say climbing up a tree would be the worst mistake of your life because you're trapped. Dogmen can climb trees. That's why I share encounters with them in the trees, because I don't want people to think that they can't climb trees. They're very adept to climbing trees. They can use the trees as movement, like we use a sidewalk. They can just travel through them. Yeah, Anki. What's up, 007? Joe, I hope you feel better, dear. Send me an email if you want to talk, if you're all right. Keeping your eyes down, not making any contact with them, visual contact. What's up, Philo? This is a weird one right here. One day in 1995, at mid-morning, a local resident of Saduk in the Crimea named Grigori walked to an embankment on the Black Sea for a breath of sea air. With a goblet of beer with him, he stepped down to the sand and watched the horizon. It was a calm and beautiful day. Suddenly, something sneaked up to him from behind and put a rubber mask on his head. Grigori struggles and grabs the mask under his chin and pulls it off, thinking it was some kind of stupid prank. But the next second, he found himself amid a huge hall. He could neither see the sea or beach or sky. There were huge screens on the walls, multitude of various control panels with buttons and chairs in front of them. When he looked down, he saw that he was holding a rubber mask resembling that of a blue reptilian monster, skin like a lizard, covered with warts. Suddenly, a door opened in the wall, and 3 monsters entered the room. These resembled very much the face of the mask he was holding. They were tall, maybe 2 meters in height, blue in color, all covered in bumps. They were nude and awful in appearance. One of them approached Grigori, and he put his hand on his shoulder. This alien creature had 3 huge, curved, clawed fingers on his hand, and said in a low, hoarse voice, Homo sapiens. Grigori could see huge yellow fangs in his opened mouth. After that, seized by terrific panic, Grigori began to scream. He jerked back, threw the mask on the floor, and ran. He entered a corridor and passed numerous oval doors, different screens and instruments. Overwhelmed by fear, he ran into another room, and there he was confronted by another blue reptilian humanoid. The humanoid opened his huge arms on his sides and said, "Where are you running to?" After that, he pressed something on the wall, and Grigori saw what he calls the abyss, endless space everywhere. He could see stars and beautiful scenes of space. He was trembling with fear when one of the blue reptilians approached him, took his hand, and said, "Don't be afraid." He then accompanied the witness to the next room. In that room, he saw hundreds of reptilian humanoids standing in rank. All were standing shoulder to shoulder, and all were looking at Grigori. Suddenly, they moved aside, and Grigori saw a beautiful woman with light hair sleeping on a sofa. He saw her for several seconds, and after the blue reptilians closed ranks again, and she disappeared from sight. The alien then accompanied Grigori to a screen. There were stars on the screen. The reptilian pointed with one claw, one of the stars, and said, "Earth." After that, he embraced Grigori with his powerful 3-clawed fingers and said, "Stay with us. We have no time and death." Terrified, Grigori could only say that he wanted to go back home, that his mother was waiting for him, and he begged to be let go. The alien then said, "Well then, is there anything you want to know?" Grigori could only think of one thing at that point. "How long will my mother live?" The alien answered, "As much as your age now." After that, the star on the screen began to approach very fast and began to resemble the globe of the earth. He could see clouds. Suddenly, Grigori realized he was standing near his home, but only on the opposite direction from where he had originally left. He had been gone for 5 hours. He noticed a peculiar detail. The coins in his pocket began to glow with a yellowish light when he took them out. This light disappeared in the morning. Is Dogman real? Please let me know. No, this is a real channel. Your dad does not know, Misguided Angel. They are real. Like, people have seen them for thousands of years. I wouldn't be doing a live stream about creepy pastas because that would be just corny as hell. Aliens are real, Bigfoot are real, reptilians are real, fucking crawlers are real, dogmen are real, the paranormal are real. Read the book Skinwalkers in the Pentagon, and your answer will be right there. You know, they are real. What's up, Keebler? Lot lizards are real too, but lot lizards are a whole different kind of game. Yeehaw! I almost got abducted by aliens, but I broke out and shit in their bathroom with the door open. Fucking Lynn. Oh my God, Larry. I thought it was going to be real, buddy. You're welcome, Misguided. Vampires, I think vampires are real, but not in the way that, fucking Anne Rice and everybody say they are. I think they're more of a psychic kind of vampire where they like in an inorganic being where it feeds off of your fear and your emotions. Lot lizards, Misguided Angel. Lot lizards are prostitutes that work at truck stops. They are very scary. They have multiple diseases. They've been known to bite. Lot lizards are just a very terrible critter. Thoughts on Phil Schneider, if true? Wow. Phil Schneider is 100% real. Web surfer guy. I don't know if you've watched all my videos on him, but I mean, Phil Schneider is a fucking American hero, just like Bill Cooper. Really just amazing. Yes, lot lizards have been known to carry crabs, and not the ones that live in the ocean. They are smelly critters. Oh, shit. How about a black-eyed kid story, guys? Black-eyed kids? All right. Black-eyed kids. Here we go. Little fuckers. My girlfriend and I live in a small gated community in southern West Virginia called Glade Springs. The community has 150 houses, a country club, and a steakhouse/bar called Bonkers. Now, anyone come through the gate during business hours, but after they close, the front security gate stops all traffic and makes sure you're a resident. If you are a visitor, they call the house that you're going to verify they are actually expecting you. Sometimes it's a hassle, but hey, you don't have to worry about getting robbed. So imagine my surprise when my doorbell chimes at 2:30 in the morning. I'm jarred awake and wasn't sure if it was a dream considering I had just gone to bed recently. I roll over and look at the clock, noticing the time. And when my doorbell chimed again, I felt a cold chill run down my body. Not reading too much into it, it could be one of my neighbors having an emergency, right? I nonchalantly made my way to the door. Now I see how foolish I really was and opened it. Luckily, the wrought iron storm door was still locked because who or what stood before me was not a resident of the community. Two young boys stood at my doorstep, one looking about 17, the other looking 10, wearing dark hooded sweatshirts and jeans. The younger one had a shaggy, dirty blonde hair and would only look down at a stone step. The older one had his hood pulled up on his head, tipped to where I could only see half of his nose. My voice caught in my throat, and before I could even ask what they wanted, the older one spoke. His voice sounded forced and dry. There was no emotion or sincerity. I'm sorry to bother you and your girlfriend, but we need to come in and use your phone. We've been in an accident. I felt the familiar chill return to my body. How did he know my girlfriend was here? I wrote it off as my Tahoe and her VW was in the driveway and figured they just assumed. I tripped over my words. Something about these kids was not right, was not normal, was not human. I can bring you my phone and you can use it there. I don't get service inside here, so you'd have to stand on the sidewalk and call, I finally said nervously. Of course, I was lying through my clenched teeth. I did not want these kids in my house. Well, my brother really needs to use your bathroom, Chuck. We need to come in, the older one said, and that's when I was into complete panic. How the hell did he know my name? I'm sorry, are you from here? How did you know my name? The words practically shook out of my mouth. That's when he became slightly hostile and demanded to be let in. And I told them that I was sorry, but could not help them. And just as I was about to close the door, this is when it happened. The both of them snapped their heads upward and looked me straight in the eyes. Black, no irises, no pupil, no retina, just pure dark black. I was paralyzed in fear. For a second, I thought those kids were just playing a really cruel joke and had snuck in the community somehow and had brought some of those freaky supernatural demon contacts. That was until I heard ringing. It was like a ringing sound you hear when you have a hearing test done, that digital high-pitched shrill. And then the flashback started. That's when everything went black. The next thing I knew, I was shaken awake, lying in the mudroom floor, my girlfriend standing over me with a worried look. What the hell, Chucky? She asked. I had no idea how to answer. My head had taken a good whack against the slate floor, and a bit of dried blood was stuck in my hair. Other than that, I was physically fine. I slowly remembered everything that had happened and looked at the open door. I looked at the door. Daylight. I had never been so happy to see morning in all my life. I told my girlfriend everything that happened, and I honestly think she thought I had brain damage from hitting the floor. But she insisted she believed me. Then we Googled it, and I believe that's when she really started to believe me. I don't know who or what they were or why they came here. I know that for a fact. For some reason, I had this lingering thought. I am still not sure if they put the thought in my head or not, that they wanted me to know that even my memories aren't safe. They are very strong and seem to be growing in numbers. For some reason, they seem not to be able to hurt you physically unless you invite them in. For some reason, yeah. Which I don't know since neither one of them was ever in. But they can get into your head. Since that night, I feel as though I am being watched. I see them out of the corner of my eye occasionally. I'll look at my girlfriend while we are at the movies or at dinner, and her eyes will be solid black for a split second. And that's worst of all. They took one of my most precious and most often reminiscent memories and turned it into something sinister. Something that's now a constant reminder of the black-eyed kids. Good night, Paula. Puma Pete, that is your theory that they're demonic. We don't know if they are. Theory though. But good one. What's up, Libra? How are you, dearie? I think they could be demonic, possibly alien, maybe other dimensional or whatever. Very true, Nicola. Very true. Very true. But, like, I think alien, I mean, I do think possibly demonic. It's hard to not think both. Demonic, obviously, because of the black eyes and the possession. But alien, I think possibly, what if they are like, okay, so we all know about DUMBs and how women and men and children have been kidnapped. What if the black-eyed children are a product of these dumps. You know what I mean? Yeah, I believe in black-eyed kids too. I honestly wouldn't talk about them if I didn't, my friend. 100% I believe them. I think, to be honest with you, the rabbit hole that I've been going down, I really find it hard not to believe that these things exist, that they exist. You know what I mean? Like, I think truly 100% the government, not the government we see on TV, not the government that they want us to see, but I really believe that the alien agenda and the government have some sort of like control over the paranormal and use them. You use dowsing rods, Janie? Let's use mine right now. All right. We'll ask about the black-eyed kids. Yay! Okay, here we go, kids. Norman Comics. I have so much paranormal equipment. It is like, I am not just a Dogman channel. I want to, this is my life. I live and breathe this. All right. If there is anyone here with us right now, please cross these rods. Okay. Please uncross them. Okay. Yes will be cross. If the answer is yes, cross them. If the answer is no, make them open up. Do you know what black-eyed kids are? Okay. Are you a spirit? Okay. Anyone got a question? Anyone got a question? Did you pass away in my home? Okay. I don't know if it will answer that. Yes. Are there, okay. Do you know what dimensions are? Okay. Can spirits cross dimensions? Okay. Are you familiar with extraterrestrial? Okay. Can spirits engage with extraterrestrials like you can engage with humans? Okay. I am going to end this session with you right now. Thank you for communicating with me. That freaked me out a little bit. What did you want me to ask? Is Trump the Antichrist or actually good as he seems? No, he's definitely good. That's crazy, Mark. That's fucking crazy. What did I miss, though, for a second? Whew. All right. I need to $20. It's $20. Oh. All right. That's a little better. Jeff, been on any dates lately? How's your life? No dates. I'm probably not going to date for a very long time. One, if I dated the way I look at dating, if I started, dude, I swear to God, someone was in my fucking living room right there. I'm shutting the door. I looked like I'm like talking, and I looked out of the corner of my eye, and there was something white in my living room. I don't think I will date because one, you know how when like relationships, like I like how my life is. I like doing live streams with you guys on Saturday nights. If I met some chick and she's like, "Why are you hanging out in front of your computer every Saturday? Stop it." And I'd be like, "No, leave me alone. These are my people." Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I just don't have time to date. I don't want to date. Does the Illuminati exist? Absolutely, web surfer guy. Absolutely. 100%. That's like asking if the Masons exist, to be honest with you. They exist. It's not like Jay-Z and Beyonce and fucking Cat Williams. They aren't the Illuminati. And anyone who thinks the Illuminati would be Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Cat Williams, and these idiots that say, it's 13 families. The Illuminati is 13 families. And it's well documented. Fucking Islam won, baby! Dustin Poirier got his ass spanked. I'll tell you the 13 families right now. I got it saved here. All right. Hang on a second. Okay. The 13 families of the Illuminati. I'll take my glasses off. The Astor family, the Bundy bloodline, the Collins bloodline, the DuPont bloodline, the Freeman bloodline, the Kennedy bloodline, the Lee bloodline, the Onassis bloodline, the Reynolds bloodline, Rockefeller, Rothschild, Russell, and Van Doon bloodline. Those are the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati. No, web surfer guy. That's all TikTok bullshit. That's all TikTok bullshit. It's just like a fucking joke, I never said Ashboro. Crazy backyard chicken guy. I'm surrounded by pistols. I'm with Jeff. I'll say a prayer. You got it. I actually did, Zach. I did say a prayer in my head. I definitely did. I did say a prayer. Let's find a good. I only got a couple of encounters left. Wow, I really did. I fucking ran through all those encounters already. Stop. Hammer time. Din it. Din it. Din it. Yeah, it was a good night. Good night. I got plenty of other encounters though. We'll do another Dogman one. Brad, I just interviewed Brad 007. His interview's up. His new interview's up. It was up this morning. Randall Kennedy, have a good night, my friend. Stay safe. I don't have any feral human. I had a certain amount of encounters that I went through already. I would like to share what happened to me mid-April 2015. Ooh, skipping some ads. Okay. I'd like to share what happened to me in mid-April of 2015. It was the end of the afternoon, and the light was pretty good. I decided to take a little walk in the Jura Mountain Forest, eastern France, where I live, with a friend and my little dog. We chose a place where I parked my car and we began to walk in. It didn't take long before I began to feel nervous. As we are walking, we heard this horrible noise. It sounded like doves, but they were not singing, almost like they were screaming. It was the first time I had ever heard this noise. I laughed and said to my friend, I feel like they don't want us in the forest for some reason. We pushed on, and the path was wide as we got further along. Suddenly, I noticed something moving down the track to the side of us. I realized that it was an animal and thought it was a large dog. The color was black. I was upset and I told my friend I'd rather go back to the car. I didn't want my little dog to cross what I thought was a big dog off the leash. Luckily, I had my little guy on his leash. I started to turn around and return to the car, but my friend stayed and watched to see if she could place the rogue dog without its owner. I was walking for a few minutes when I heard my friend screaming, "Run, run!" Without looking back, I accelerated my pace and arrived at the car out of breath. I put my little guy in the car. Before I got in the car, I looked down the path and saw this deep black-colored creature walking into the forest away from us. I was so surprised and shocked, I couldn't believe it. I could only see the top of its shoulders of this creature. My friend who joined me at the car explained what they saw. She said this creature moved by slipping at a high speed along the side, then seemed to get its momentum and straightened up on its hind legs. My friend told me, and this is what I can confirm, that she said it was over 2 meters tall. We couldn't see its eyes. The creature stopped when it saw my friend. They looked at each other for a split second. Then the creature decided to turn into the woods. My friend told me it had a dog head with ears that were pinned down. This creature had a muscular body, torso, and thighs. It was covered in deep black hair. We were shocked. We later decided to go back to the forest and see if there was an explanation for all this. We didn't notice anything strange that we would answer this puzzle. And then I told a friend we should try going back to this place before nightfall. So we did a few weeks later. It's strange, you see, because when we got out of the car on that evening visit, we immediately felt something was wrong. The atmosphere was very different. There was complete silence. We began to walk, and after a few minutes, I felt anxious. I decided to go back, and my friend tried to push into the forest, but she came running back. The creature was there again. It was standing in the woods, staring directly at us. Thankfully, I had not seen this creature at this time. We would like to be courageous enough to take a picture of the creature. I know that we are not the only ones that have seen this dog man, and we are sure that is what we saw. We learned that someone else saw this thing a few days later. So I tell some friends to be careful if they ever decide to go to that forest, or any forest, and it's abnormally silent. As I do with everyone who comes forward, I asked if they had ever experienced anything else unusual or unexplained. This is not my first time I had any strange meeting in the forest. The first dates back to 5 or 6 years previous. I had never heard the name Dogman. I must tell you that I have always loved nature, fields, and forests since a childhood. I always went to the woods a lot, but that year, while I was going to fetch mushrooms, I felt uncomfortable without understanding why. Several times I went back to the car, I regained my senses, and then found myself confused. I understood what was bothering me. It was the abnormal total silence in the middle of the summer. One morning, I arrived early and got to the trail. I saw a black mass at the end and thought it was a tree stump. I continued to search for mushrooms and gradually moved closer to this tree stump. When I looked up, my heart started thumping so hard, I felt like I could hear it outside of my chest. I didn't understand what was in front of me, what I was seeing with my own eyes. Imagine a human being squatted with their head on their chest sleeping. But it was not a human being. It was covered in black fur everywhere. It was not a boar either. It was not a badger. I didn't understand what it was, and especially as I had never felt such a feeling of panic in my life. I started backing up, praying that this creature would not wake up, and I ran away without turning around. I have never been able to return to that forest after I made the observation of that creature I saw. In the meantime, I have learned the dogman that people are seeing them and that they are dangerous. In April, I was with my friend. My friend is a medium and can see and experience the dead. So I think there is a connection since I have known her, and I'm starting to see some weird things on the lot in front of my house with the camera at night. My little dog is also seeing and reacting to things I do not see with a naked eye. When he growls, if I take a picture in the dark, there are orbs and colored tubes, shapes that move. As far as the dogman is concerned, this is a real creature. This experience disturbs me. I really want to know, but I'm scared to go back. Yet, at no time did it show aggression. It could have arrived on us without a problem. It was moving fast with long strides. I know that I will return to this forest despite my fear, but I will not go alone. My friend went back to her home in North France. When she was face to face with this creature, a small inner voice pushed her to go with it, but her survival instinct took over. My friend told me she remembered a past life experience. She was hunted in the forest by hunters. She had two wolves that accompanied her, a white one and a black one that protected her when she was captured as a witch. The people killed the wolves in front of her cruelly. So her friend had seen her past life experiences in France. Interesting. Someone said Salma Hayek, so I'm only imagining the movie that she is the hottest in, which would be Dusk Till Dawn. Let's see. And I think it was Libra that said it. So, Libra. Dusk Till Dawn! Fucking Salma Hayek. Oh, my Lord. Shit, yes, she was hot as hell. God, remember when Tarantino was drinking the fucking tequila off her toe? Oh, yes, sir. Good night, Liz. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us tonight. God damn. I'm not a toe guy, but I would nibble on that toe. I'd be like, later, 59th. Have a good night. I would drink her bathwater, Daryl Williams says. You know, when you ever seen that fucking show? God, that one show. What was that? With the fucking, oh man, that bath scene just freaked me out. I am a bit touched. That's not the first time I've ever heard that. He's got a very similar, like a very he doesn't have a certain blood type, 007. He does, but you know, obviously he's got a certain blood type, but it's not like a rare blood type. He's got a normal, like we all do. Welcome to slavery. No thanks. Yeah, that is it. No thanks. I already had a wife. Haha. Yeah, it's a pheromone. We were talking about pheromone. And adrenaline. Yeah, he's an adrenaline junkie. He's always said it from day one when I met Brad. He said, "I'm not a hunter. I'm not anything special. I'm good with a hand cannon, you know. He's not like a great rifleman. He's a good shot with a hand cannon. What's up, Vertebraker? How are you? Rocking steady, drinking out of the Dogman cup. Hell yeah. Oh, my new kitten, Beans. I got to check this out. Let's check old Beaner out. Oh, let's see. Hang on here. I didn't get your email, Tommy. Whoa. Holy shit. I did get this photo of a Dogman, though. Holy shit. I got to contact this feller. I know who this is anyway. He's coming on the show soon. Yeah, try to send it again, please. All right, guys. I am tired. It's 2 a.m. I'm going hiking tomorrow. I am probably going to go up to where Tom Mezek disappeared tomorrow, so I want to get some sleep. Thank you guys for... Let me check here. Hang on a second. Why did it go to spam? That's weird. Oh, look at the little bastard. Oh, little Beans. What a cute little kitten. Little gray butter. All right, guys. Tomorrow, I am going to where Tom Mezek disappeared. I am going to fucking hike, have fun, not scare myself as I drive up there. I literally sometimes drive up there and I put myself in moods. I'm like, something's going to get your booter, Jeff. Something's going to get your booter. But, guys, thank you. I hope you guys had a good night tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed all the experiences I shared. I cannot believe that we went through this stack. Like, we went through that stack. There's fucking so many encounters. Awesome night. Awesome night. Do. Love you guys. Have a good night. See ya.